boy, they really dropped WandaVision trailer out of nowhere. That just
Yeah, yeah.
like came out
This was a
swinging.
wild night. This was
Yeah,
wild because on Twitter, if you searched WandaVision, it auto corrected the trail or Emmys. So it's WandaVision Emmys, and people were going, "I wonder if that's because they're going to drop it on the Emmys or not." And then people were going, "No, it's only auto correcting that because a ton of people are saying it's going to drop at the Emmys with no good reason." So it's like, yeah, it's going to drop. Oh no, it's bogus, and then it dropped, and it's just
yeah.
like what? No.
Now, it was a wild night. Certainly a wild like 24 to 48 hours after it because like that dropped and then right before that we had the preceding little Disney reveal. It's like, oh, here's what's coming this year, and WandaVision was on it, which we've talked about a little bit. And then the trailer dropped and it did amazing numbers all around for views. Like people are hungry for MCU content. That's what this like described to
I was
me.
like, this did better than a lot of big tentpole movies did in
Yeah.
views, which is nuts. And it's just a little single-digit episode TV series
I
on
mean,
a little streaming service.
I'm willing to say that at least 50% of Disney Plus subscribers will watch this, if not more. This thing is going to be a mammoth, like, just, it's going to destroy expectations. Like,
Yeah.
I am willing to say, I think this show will do more hits in the first episode than Mandalorian did easily, because, again, it's a better known quantity. Like, it's coming off the heels of the biggest movie of all time, so come on, like, where's the next step? Where's
Yeah.
it going? And it looks interesting as hell. Like, I saw people, like, engaging the casuals, if you will. So I'm looking at, like, what some of my friends shared and, like, their family members, and I'm seeing, like, 45, 50-year-olds sharing the Disney Plus video for WandaVision going, this looks amazing. I'm like, huh, well, I guess we're back in that Marvel effect again where, even like the everyday people that are just like, oh, there's more Marvel content. Okay, I'll show up and watch it. Where is it? Oh, it's coming to my house? Even better. Like, that's,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. Pretty good.
It's the real power of my girl right there. That's what that is. Real power.
I mean,
But like, they were smart with Wanda because in Infinity War they gave her probably the most heart-wrenching moment.
mm-hmm.
Like she didn't have a lot to do in those two movies, but it's like, yeah, she has to kill, her partner. And then in Endgame, it's just like, I don't even know, that I don't even know who you are line. It's just like, oh, but then they gave it like everyone talks about how she would have easily beat Thanos.
Yeah.
So they gained a lot of interest from like where her character is and where she's going just from those two scenes alone. And then it wasn't ever going to kickstart it before, but circumstances change, and now this is the first Phase 4 thing we're getting. To kickstart it with this, it's kind of probably the better way to do it. I know obviously you had Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's like, not to take away from where Sam's character is and how important a Black Captain America will be, but it's probably equal interest, I imagine, really. But it's one of the bigger moments to jump right back into with.
I agree with that, and the sentiment I've seen and like reaction from people online is, I didn't even know this was a thing, but my God, does it look different than everything else in the MCU. So a part of me thinks that it was almost like smarter for them to make this the first entry into the next phase instead of anything else, and circumstances are making it that, but it's almost a better way to look at it because it's like, oh, well, what's coming out next after Spider-Man? I don't know, something about Captain America. Instead, it's like multiverse, Wanda, bending reality, things are happening. Boy, this looks insane.
We've gone from spy action thriller series, which is like, we've seen it before. Like, obviously, Sam makes it way different than anything else in that genre. But then it's like, what would you describe this show as?
Yeah.
There's no genre for is it a horror? Is it a thriller? Is it psychological? I assume psychological thriller is probably the closest thing you can get to describing this show. Because that's definitely the way they're pitching it. It feels very like Twin Peaksy.
Oh, it does.
Like I've seen Twin Peaks, but what I have seen of it, it's just like it feels very, very much in that sort of effect.
Yeah, I feel like watching it and what we see from that trailer is that every episode is going to make you question what we saw and which way do you interpret some elements of it. And did this actually play out the way we think, which I think is a good approach to take it because, again, her mind is being ripped and fragmented and manipulated.
This is the thing. Is it her mind? I don't believe it is.
Right. Yep.
Like, it could very well be, but at the same time, there are certain things that it's like, is it not? You know, is it like maybe she made it herself?
Yeah.
And they did that route from like House of M, and said no, she made this little multiverse. I mean, this is her one.
And for all we know, and this is just pure speculation on my end, but Agatha Harkness is working for Nightmare, and he's seen this fragmenting, and he's like, oh, I can manipulate her before something happens and turn her or something, and like that's how they could tie it. You know, like, we don't know how far-reaching this is, and again, like Mandalorian, as that series went on, we're like, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen, because everything they showed us and everything leading up to the first episode was literally the first episode and a few select 1-second clips from episode 2 and 3 and nothing else. So
yeah, so like, this is definitely more than one episode we've seen.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it. This is a couple. Yep.
And just to go back to the Agatha Harkness thing, we can guarantee that is Agatha Harkness because they are that Halloween episode or scene. They're being very on the nose with the costuming.
Yes, they are.
Like Scarlet Witch is wearing a Scarlet Witch, literally the Scarlet Witch costume. Vision's literally wearing a Vision costume. What's Agatha wearing? She's wearing a Witch costume. So she's clearly got to be something like that. And money's on is Agatha Harkness. She has the closest relation to a villain for Scarlet Witch.
Yep.
Even though she's not so much a villain now, but she's in that vein. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nightmare is connected to it in some way. It'd be a smart tie-in, but at the same time, just having a different multiverse and that pocket existing by itself causing a ripple effect is probably enough of a tie-in as it is. But I mean, you got to play it dumb, ain't you?
Exactly. And if they're gonna tie anything in, I mean, how do you not tie in Hellstrom? Yes, that silence is telling. That's our reaction, and everybody listening. They're like, "What the hell are you talking about right now?"
I was going to say, like, what's Hellstrom? I don't
know well, it's a Marvel. It's a Hulu original series that's literally shaved and scrubbed the Marvel branding off of it. I did have to mention it. Just people are going to be like, "Why aren't you talking about that? It ties into." No, it doesn't. I'm sorry, Hellstrom. I think it looks good for what it is, and I'm really excited to watch it. But it is not a Marvel show. That is our far cry. On the WandaVision end, though, just to kind of wrap up the conversation, I think the reaction we've seen and the numbers it's pulling in for views,
it's going to be huge.
This thing is going to be a juggernaut. I don't think they're even expecting it.
This one trailer alone really cements the whole mentality of like, oh, it's dead after Endgame. MCU's dead after Endgame. Like, no, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not. Like, it very well could go down from at this point, but I think with this trailer, it shows they're not just gonna do the same thing.
Yeah,
you are gonna get very, very different things, especially from these shows. Like, hell, they even reference Bova. Who on earth would have thought they would have referenced Bova? And apparently, they even say the name Bova. Like, come on now. Like, who would have thought? Bova. I'm going to say his name again. Bova.
This is Kevin Feige literally getting to do whatever he wants. That this is it. Like,
if we even see anything referencing Wundagore, or if we even go to Wundagore Mountain and they do the whole like, this is actually where you were raised and how you ended up in Sokovia and all that. I'm done. It's going to be the best thing ever made.
I could see. Like, I mean, you were always I remember when all these series were announced, Loki was ahead of anticipation for, like, people were just like, WandaVision, and you were championing it from the beginning, and like, yep, this is why, I think, because you kind of sensed that it was going to go this insane, and I mean, I'm on the hype train.
They had to. Like, the second you find out that it's based on Tom King's Vision run, it's like, yes, this is going to be hands down the best thing in Phase 4.
Oh, I can't wait. So as it gets closer to the release date, which looks like it's going to be probably December. I
was going to say, what's your What's your bets on date?
Uh,
What's your bets?
Straight in the middle of December, like literally whatever Friday lands in the middle.
So you reckon they're gonna overlap with the Mandalorian?
um,
Because the Mandalorian ends on the 18th.
I'm saying probably 18th or 25th. Then I'm looking at it right now. Yeah,
Interesting. See,
That's-
my money's full on 25th.
Christmas with the Vision family. That would be smart.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
hey, you can't go see the one Christmas movie that's coming out this year, but
Yeah.
hey, here you go. Enjoy this.
Forget
you know?
about that movie starting with W. Here's our show starting with W.
That's honestly, it's smart counter programming. So that's sort of how it
Because
goes.
also,
I
you know,
guess.
it's no. Let's be honest. Every time a show ends, you lose subscribers.
Yep.
So, what way to keep them over the Christmas holidays into the new year? We're gonna go back to back.
And we still don't know
Could
the
they-
full episode count, and that's a big factor in this because we know they
I was
went.
gonna say I want to say they started with 6, and it was going to be a short end of the 6 to 8.
Yeah.
But then there's the talk of them adding in episodes.
Right.
So it's like, is it 9? Like, is it 9 episodes now? Are we going above that? Which, if it's 9, then thank
Oof.
you.
Whatever it is, I'll be grateful. But if it's more than 6, oh man, get super hyped. You know.
It's just like, I just want to know how they're going to do this. Because,
Same.
like, even though they've shown us nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a sitcom you remember. Here's a sitcom you remember. Here's an actress from a sitcom you remember. Everyone wants her to say the one line. She's no doubt going to say that one line everyone wants her to say.
Oh god, yeah. Yep. Oh, so hyped. Goddamn, this trailer did it. This did it. This was it. This reeled me back in. It was always gonna, but hey,
Just don't forget. I told people it was going to be on top. This is going to be the best show.
that is
Easily.
true. So there we go, everybody. Let us know your feelings on WandaVision, the trailer, and the hype for it.